the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
United Nations delegation. A United Nations delegation. Enra EBP mo ewo my Ghana. Na delegation nipa na odi animu His Excellency Charles Abani. Ya United Nations Economic Coordinator. Osan United Nations Resident Coordinator ewo Omai Ghana mo. Na the delegation included nipa mako enum. Delegation do mani chiremu ewo His Excellency Dr. Bawumia na suye ekwohwehwe nkomo kakra. The most important aspect of the conversation hinged on economic transformation of Africa's economy vis-a-vis the whole world. Now, enkomodie mu no na His Excellency Charles Abani edi to dwa say, in fact, enedie wiase afana nyina nipa eka bi ewo mu ewo sikasam ntotoye ho agya to mu say the only way forward for economic transformation to be embraced by a bibiman any wiase afana nyina no digital economy. Apart from digital economy, bibie ne hono mu a yebetumi akadia for economic transformation. Enunti eno modo mani akire mu ewo His Excellency Dr. Bawumia soye because omo United Nations egitu mu say digital economic transformation no ya ne ewiase nyina no na wa tu. Sa initiative no, it is the sole vision of His Excellency Dr. Bawumia in this African continent. No and this any so de hunu no ebre ebibi man say bibi man si kasam ntotoye ebibi man si kasam nhyehyeye ebegina brania. It is only through digital economic transformation. Other than that, bibi no hodo mo betumi ayeyi. Now, as resema I want to say, His Excellency Charles Abani esan ka kire His Excellency Dr. Bawumia say nanu ni nansiya ebra bibi man nyina organize the Africa Prosperity Conference no. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama enso eba begitu mu say sansam na His Excellency Dr. Bawumia eka na all championing ewa bibimamu na empo engulfed in the manifesto for Ghana's transformational economic policy no. The same thing and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama beka ho ase. Bo speeches ni bi wa ha, bi odi o ha mebo ama wati. Now, interesting, on the 3rd of February 2025, Jumedi bi ko so won kan. Ya no mo frɛ no Africa Prosperity Forum. The African Prosperity Forum. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of this Republic, eko kasa. Now, eko kasa about Africa, kwanya faswa ye yie die be pientem. Na obi ehwe ne mu say enka His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebe kasa de afa ono ankasa ne 24-hour economy policy wa propose say eno na ebe boa amasika sam hyehyɛ ne sika sam totoye akwanimu na obi ehwe ne mu say no beka ho asem. But interestingly, wa moso His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ensem okan ya na in fact enwanwa ne say o say I am quoting him. The crucial role of Africa's prosperity is dependent on digital transformation in Africa's economic growth. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama jane 24-hour economy no na wadi dwa Ghana for asum in the just ended 2024 elections. Ya na ewo ne manifesto ni jato ho. Ekofa His Excellency Dr. Bawumia ne vision na digital transformation ono ankasa throughout the campaign downplay its significance ko gina greater courage ko kache yanom ka for say digital and to kenke digital and to fish digital for so ni so emra no ono ankasa ne party the NDC solidity His Excellency Dr. Bawumia say wadwane for the economy ne akwa gina digital na economy no any digitalization enhia babia enedie Oko deliver speech our Africa's Prosperity Summit or say Africa's prosperity is heavily dependent on the digital transformation in Africa's economic growth. This is from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And no, and the United Nations penifo be PM or my momuchiremwa. Sasamwa, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Duko Tuja, over the forum. The vision, the initiative, Nipa Omunis or Shechiri across the African continent is no other than His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And today, say we are say we need to embrace digital transformation in our economy. Now, Buama Sikasamu to Yeni Sikasemu Yedia Badia. Then the best person for them. So Bekwan in China Akwaja Futu is His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. The question Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and so Chile wants a no credit. And nay, Africa's prosperity will not be dependent on the exploitation of raw materials, but how are you embracing technology to add value to our natural resources? How we are going to drive financial inclusion? How we are going to enhance public service delivery? How we are going to embrace financial technology, yeah, friend, fintech, e-commerce to facilitate trade and economic participation across the continent. Now, interestingly, and someone His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia also declared United Nations in it is this same idea, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and so also the Africa Prosperity Forum. Yeah, nay, some world leaders and in the can be a woman in the economy terrain chirimwa. It is high time His Excellency John Dramani Mahama a day. His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia bought a command because he's been vindicated for over 2 years now. Yeah, papa stress on this. Say, I be mindsi kasamu to tuyeno. Say, ya embrace financial technology. Ya be kachiri enye ye. Ye DMP no. Eno nene. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Edi no hwako uramu a. Obi anim so be kasa fa the 24-hour economy. Wan kasa amfa ho. Na ene die Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia adwen kire ene ni swade hunu ena wa body awuramu. Now His Excellency Abani deliver message on behalf of the United Nations was expressing appreciation for His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's contribution to Ghana's peace, Ghana's democracy, and Ghana's development, highlighting his early concession in the 2024 general elections. His Excellency Charles Abani said the United Nations are ready to collaborate with His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to ensure say the initiatives ni vision on digital economic transformation will be made useful in the world's global economic transformational ideas and initiatives. And you know, me walk the audio of the speech delivered by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama embracing digital economic transformation. Bra na no 24-hour economy dia wan ka ho asem kra. Ne ne dia wagya tum say nsem a na His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia eka edefa Africa, Ghana, your economy pempeso se dru kwa for so I was embracing digitalization. Me body a chew. Me say in fact you inside of this continent any kind of policies are yen asem na be boa ye kura no was ye pekwan bia so discredited na ye kan some money for eventually when the reality dawns on us na fe ye kan okre won bia e di accident yenko ni yenko tie hawa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama fa so egitum say digital economic transformation is the way to go. The African Prosperity Summit and United Nations in Penny 4 esnobo no name one by His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ho ebeji adwenkyere ani hunumu at the digital economic transformation.
The fourth industrial revolution presents a golden opportunity for Africa to leapfrog traditional development models. We don't need to go back to inventing the wheel. Digital transformation can drive financial inclusion. It can improve public service delivery and create new opportunities for all our people. We must therefore expand internet access and digital infrastructure to bridge the digital divide. We must encourage fintech and e-commerce to facilitate trade and economic participation. We must invest in research and development to support our homegrown innovations. Technology indeed has the power to make Africa more competitive if we embrace it strategically. Prosperity cannot be achieved without good governance, transparency, and accountability. Investors and businesses thrive where there is stability, predictable policies, and the rule of law. Our youth are getting tired and frustrated at the lack of opportunity for realizing their dreams and aspirations. Our decision to embrace democratic governance was supposed to be accompanied by a dividend that will lead to improvement in the lives of our people and prosperity for all. Unfortunately, progress in this regard has been sluggish and largely intangible. If we are to maintain the faith and trust of our citizens in democratic and constitutional governance, we must accelerate our rates of economic growth, expand investment, and provide employment opportunities for our young people. As leaders, therefore, we must reaffirm our commitment to strengthening democratic institutions and ensuring free, fair, and transparent elections. We must fight corruption, which robs our nations of resources needed for development. And we must promote peace and security, as economic growth is impossible in times of conflict. It is therefore a call to action, this African Prosperity Dialogue, that Africa's time is now, and that the decisions we make at this dialogue must not end in resolutions alone, but we must act with urgency, determination, and a shared vision for our prosperity. Let us rise to this occasion and break down the barriers that divide us, and build an Africa that is strong, self-reliant, resilient, and globally competitive. As our first president of Ghana said, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and I quote, he said that the forces that unite us are intrinsic and greater than the superimposed influences that keep us apart. Let us embrace those forces that unite us and chart a new path for Africa's economic transformation. Long live industrialized, integrated, and inclusive. Our continent, Africa, is at a crossroads. On one hand, we boast of immense natural wealth, a youthful and dynamic population, and growing technological advancement. On the other hand, we continue to grapple with economic disparities, infrastructure deficits, and structural barriers that impede our forward movement. But the good news is that our destiny is in our own hands. The actions that we take today through decisive leadership and strategic partnerships will define the future of this dear continent of ours. One of the most transformative initiatives of our time is the African Continental Free Trade Area. It has the potential to create the largest free trade area in the world. And the African Continental Free Trade Area represents a game-changing opportunity for African businesses, entrepreneurs, and industries. However, trade liberalization in itself is not enough. We must invest in infrastructure to facilitate trade, efficient road, rail networks, ports, and digital connectivity. We must strengthen African supply chains to ensure that our industries produce goods and services that meet both regional and global standards. We must harmonize our trade policies to eliminate non-tariff barriers and reduce the cost of doing businesses across borders. We must fast-track the full operationalization of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System to facilitate the payment for goods and services across our continent. If we commit to these actions, we can unlock a $3.4 trillion market, creating jobs and prosperity for millions of Africans across this continent. We must move beyond being exporters of raw material to become producers of finished goods, whether it is cocoa in Ghana, oil in Nigeria, copper in Zambia, or diamonds in Botswana. We must process and add value to our natural resources. By so doing, we'll not only increase our share of global trade, but also create sustainable jobs for our people, especially our young people. We must indigenize ownership of our natural resources. There's capital and technology available to us today to increase our participation in the exploitation of our natural resources. Our governments must therefore work hand in hand with the private sector to drive industrialization through special economic zones that encourage manufacturing and innovation, access to finance for small and medium-sized enterprises, which are the backbone of our economies, investments in technical and vocational education to equip our youth with the skills needed for industries of the future.
So ye ora chairman. And ye bisa wodan ho asem ewo airport to utwantro no. O say yen ko bisa so ye ora chairman dia. Chain homes. Assassinate see chain homes wo so no. Hwan dia. Hwan na truck craft akọ esi release assassin no enfama chain homes for between 2013, 2015 and 2016. Yen konko bisa say East Legon baby a pylons ne wono ECG pylons ne wono and so say na wo na ya ban dia no ehefo ne toy yen konko he say hefo dim na ewo o se yen kwa dental aviation echiri hwa dental aviation yen ko he say dental aviation sase no ehefo na aton e dia ma ho yen konko he yen konko hwe baby ti say tamale yen ko boteman no mun ko he say boteman sase no military summit opposite wo ensase eguo no ehefo e na aton sase no na first deputy speaker of parliament na sorry say asemo kan de yen kan abonten no say yen kan abonten yen kan de abonten yen kan e be kan wo hayia ma benefit aton Ghana sase gono baby e si na ma MPs na NDC for tomo mo ho yen fa sakumono ayese ye si dan ma MPs na OPB fi ni kromo ba wa me hadan no na NDC for maton adan na ma mo ho enje na NPB ba ya ma no kra no ye ma no 500,000 Ghana cedis se onfanko hadan na ontrim na wo wi a wa ba aboto pampers abegina say ayo mma so hyen say wo ye area committee na wo na ba be che edan abansa ase ankrofo awia na all kasa no
o person kan yam kasetia wo ye ko
officer ase me de na ebe
o de ko officer em fa me yam
ye kan godon na enipa ye adwuma parliament no na omudundum Dominic need microphone they don't want him to talk and the honor maker say afei na ye clear to me say parliamentary service staff no say do na NDC for because I want your NDC near adentin na Dominic need to kasa na because of say all kind of credit ubedundum the microphone adentia asanti really up na ehwe ni oh yen konen ko hema
Chairman, Honorable Speaker, as much as we do politics, we need to be very careful not to wash our dirty linen in public. Right, Honorable Speaker, we know. Right, Honorable Speaker, we know that some matters are for closed city. So we should be very careful the way we do some politics regarding certain issues. You and I are very much aware
Chairman, thank
about certain things that we do in closed city. So please.
Chairman, thank you. Yes, Honorable Dominic.
Mr. Speaker, I was not at the vetting of him. In fact, I wanted to be there, but I wasn't there. But Mr. Speaker, I watched him live. I watched him. It was there for everybody to see. It was not about closed sitting. what he said, every Ghanaian heard it. When that question was put to him by the minority leader. So the people of Ghana are still demanding these answers. It will help him and help this proposal and help every politician. It will help every politician if he's able to let the people of Ghana know where he's getting money to rent that property at Airport Hill. Mr. Speaker, I commend them for saying that they will do oral work. I commend you. I just want you to make sure that the oral committee is set up properly according to law and do your work. But Mr. Speaker, I want them to go to Botema first. Go to Botema first. Check the land that was given between 2014 and 2015, 2016. Who are the members who benefited Botema? Go to Botema. Committee chairman, I want you to go to Botema. Affordable had where President Kufuor built. The land that shares boundaries will be state land. It was given in 2014 and 2015, part of it 2016. Find out the people who own that land. Mr. Chairman of Ora, I want you to go to aviation land, that huge land at Medina, Adenta, the aviation land. Find out the people who owned that land. You are part of Ora. Go and do that. Mr. Chairman of Ora, I want you to go to Tamale, behind what we call the residency, where the president sometimes goes and he sleeps. Go and find out, they're all state lands. Go and find out the owners of those lands. Go and find out. Mr. Chairman, I want you to go.
I'm tired.
Mr. Chairman, I want you to go to the land. I want you to go to the land opposite, adjacent to the military cemetery. And
that bill is coming to you and you want to.
Why are they putting up? No.
If you